amount of water from one room to another.
Press T to relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Press Y to go home to work to home to work to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings. The bucket. Oh, no,
It's in the bedroom.
No, what's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me?
Bucket, this is a fire hazard.
Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Close your eyes. Go back to work, Stanley. Is that the end of bucket phone route?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
I'm going to jump
Stanley
off
took
the
door
lift
on his
onto
left
the
to go
side
back to the
catwalk
meeting room.
with the bucket.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes, good.
Said the bucket.
You know you want
Now
to
ride
go
the
back
lift
to the
all the way to
bedroom
the
with
top.
bucket, Mum.
There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. How could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment. Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Chad, is that a bucket? Draw says yes.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Draw! Idiot! Oh my gosh, I can't believe you would do this to me.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Is this a bucket? Super Chicken says yes.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket. not
Oh
an
my
actual
gosh. This is why I can't get Canang Overlook CM done. Look at what I'm working with here.
bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Is this one a bucket? Stuvo says no.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Dang it, Stuvo!
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Is this a bucket? Cerberus says yes.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
Cerberus, my god. Incredible.
Is this a bucket?
Is this a bucket? X4320 says yes.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Good job, X.
Item
Well
6.
done. Smartest person
Is this
here.
a bucket?
All right, next up. Is this a bucket? Kitchiro says yes.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
You get half credit, Kitchiro. That's like an F minus.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
This is like that meme where everything was
I can't
cake.
keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
So that means the door that said no buckets past this point, no one can go past it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps the good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
What if we go to the mind control room and then go to the escape route? There will be a reward for finding them all. Trust the completionist instinct. What? Inside of a sequel exhibit. Nearby a fireplace. Oh my. Okay, hold on. Hold on a second. Alright, I got a picture. Let's see, somewhere red and blue. That makes me think of the red and blue doors.
Coming to a
Was that down
staircase,
here?
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
That sounds too close to latrine. I don't like that.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired.
Oh wait, this is the one where he's
And in such a
dreaming. Never mind.
competitive economy,
I actually went to the
why
wrong
had he
spot.
taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these.
Maybe we just did this one?
He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps.
Someone
How did
swapped
I
the
end up with
buckets?
Someone else's bucket. This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him. Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket! Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket. Come to me, Stanley. Find me. He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful.
I was gonna say, that sounds like a medical
Stanley
emergency.
doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh, this again?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize.
Chat, I think the easiest cosplay, if you happen to be, resemble Stanley in any way, would just be to dress up like Stanley and carry a bucket, just to some con. Just see how many people pick up on it. I think that'd be a very, very inexpensive cosplay to pull off.
He'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to
She
work.
backflipped all the way to work. Just hop, 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 hop.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm trying to remember how to get to the red and blue doors. Was that up to the boss's
Stanley
room,
came
down
to
the
a set of
elevator,
two
and then
open
down the
doors. He
side
entered the door on
passage?
his left.
How did we get to the red and blue doors? Jump off the lift. Oh, but when I jumped off the lift, we got the no buckets ending. By the way, I didn't realize this. Look, it's like they drew this, and then it looks like 427. Gotta collect them all. Do it without the bucket. Oh, okay, I've already picked the bucket up. Large room boxes, private but smelly place for an important person. Oh, the toilet. Wait, do I not have the oh wait, do I not have the bucket right now? Oh, okay. Well, let's go do red and blue then.
Way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in
We're gonna get to hear, really?
But the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Almost there.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. No, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
You didn't finish the blue door ending.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think
Need
I
a
put
skip
a lot
button.
of time into that? I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Last time I like moved on too quick or something and it bugged out. I'm like scared of that happening.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Oh no! You think there's a Steam achievement for doing this for 4 hours?
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower. Perhaps
Creep
for some
tower?
Sort of twisted erotic purpose.
Oh no! Do you guys see the notebook?
What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there. Oh, no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing, that big, open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm
that
going
an opening?
to get us out of here. Let's find another.
Did I go through that?
Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
No.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing. Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
It'd be funny as if this was Rocket League and like in a few seconds like a car just runs me over.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases.
Oh, it is
and do a
Rocket League.
touchdown together.
I just saw the signs.
I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun. Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a...
No comment.
And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball... Hold on. What are you doing?
Oh, I scored some fucking goals.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Score some effing goals. Oh God. No. Mom, can we have Stanley's Parable? We have Stanley's Parable at home. Stanley's Parable at home. It's like Ted's Parable. What?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
So, was that just supposed to be like Stanley's Parable, but without a narrator? I'm spinning around, but there's no light sources. Oh, there we go.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What?
What could it mean? Stanley
Different
decided
layout.
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright. I'm gonna go to the
When
boss's
Stanley came to a set of two open
bathroom
doors, he entered the door
to
on
look
his
for the
left.
trophy. Oh, look. Private but smelly place for important person. Boss's bathroom. Large room, lots of boxes. I don't know. Stop kidding yourselves. I want them so much. I want to go home. There will be cleaning of this wall required. Who are you? 666 lol.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anlarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one. And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it.
Right path, left
We'll be
door.
different people by
Yes,
then.
but only
Different
with the
in
bucket.
sense
I haven't
we
tried that
used to
without the
have
bucket.
None of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anlarines. None of us can.
Okay. I've already done all the endings up here. So let's do begin again. And
Already
then
this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
broom closet without the bucket. Right turn, left door without the bucket. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly.